Welcome to Fabulous Football Friday, Week 3 edition, brought to you by Lewis Nissan. And what a week it was. Now, this was a very wonky week, unfortunately, due to the weather. There was a lot of games. Basically, every single game in our viewing area was postponed, delayed, or even canceled to some extent. Most of the games got in, which is great, but almost every single game was delayed for a little bit, but at least most of them got in. We will go through those as we go throughout the night. Week 3 is a fascinating week. Teams are 2-0, teams are 1-1, teams are 0-2. The 0-2, they're desperate. They got to get a win. You do not want to go down 0-3. The 1-1, you're right in the middle. If you can get 2-1, you're looking pretty on the season. And the 2-0, if you can get 3-0, you're looking at first place in your conference and everybody else is looking at you. But there's only one game to start, and that's our game of the week, brought to you by C. Adam Tony Tires Pro, and it was Princeton hosting Oak Hill, two 2-0 teams. Both teams got there in very different ways. How did Princeton get there? They blew out every single opponent they played so far, scoring 76 points in 2 games, while their quarterback Chance Barker is leading the league in passing stats for every single stat out there. Oak Hill, they've done it different. They've done it with defense, they've done it with poise, and they've done it with a lot of grit, and that has been impressive. But when you go to Princeton, it's a whole different challenge. Let's go out to our game of the week as Oak Hill is traveling to Princeton. We start things off with the clouds there. As you see, the storm is brewing, but there was football to be played. Coin toss, both teams locked in, ready to roll, and Princeton started off with a bang as Chance Barker hits Marquis Lowe, and watch Lowe dance his way down the field, weaves to some defenders, hits the sideline, and tight ropes his way into the end zone, and Princeton strikes first. Now, Malachi Lewis looked to produce another big performance. He gets things going with his legs early on. Red Devils inside the 5 as he hits a pass there and drives them way down. And here he goes again, Malachi Lewis twisting and turning and gets his way into, and here it is, the Red Devils inside the 5. He hands it off to J.D. Moritz, and he runs it right through the big boys up front, and we have a tie game. But then Chance Barker says, look what I can do. As he scrambles early on in the season, he fakes a handoff, tucks the ball, and moves his way down for a big run. Now it's Princeton's turn inside the 5, and Chance does another fake handoff, keeps it with a defender on his back, and scores. Tigers take the lead 14-7. Malachi Lewis, though, with the ball. He's looking to make moves, gets up the field, and gets destroyed on the sideline. But Malachi hops right back up and throws a dart to Spalding on a slant pass into the end zone. Princeton leads 21-14. Princeton comes right back down the field. Barker throws a screen to Giacomo for the touchdown, and this is when Princeton really finds themselves pulling away as Barker finds his man Giacomo on the slant. Again, he plants his way in, and Princeton goes on to win 42-28. Now, that was our game of the week, and while it was impressive, Oak Hill had a really good run. Just because they lost does not mean that their season is falling down the down arrow. What it does mean is Princeton's the best team in the league so far. We know Indy's the defending champs, and Indy's still really good, and nobody can write off them. But Princeton has a high-powered offense, which we predicted earlier on the season, and their defense looks awesome as well. Princeton gets the win in our game of the week, brought to you by C. Adam Tony Tires Pros, 42-28. Another battle between 2-0 teams. That was Oak Hill Princeton. What about Midland Trail hosting Meadow Bridge? Let's go out to Midland Trail for this one. We're out at Midland Trail where 2 undefeated teams meet as Meadow Bridge is in town. Early on, Meadow Bridge is driving. You see the handshake line there getting going. And Meadow Bridge is driving as Tripp Rolls catches a ball right on the 1-yard line, but it was 4th down. So it's a turnover on downs. So what do you do when you get a turnover on downs? You give it to the second leading rusher in the Coalfield Conference and let him go from there. Rolling off through the left side and rolls this way right into where we are. And this is a big catch by Jaden Gladwell and a pass from Preston Compton. We will break this down in just a bit. It's an incredible play by Preston Compton. You're not going to believe it. We'll get to that in just a minute. Now Gladwell hands it off, and Roop is rumbling his way down, getting a chunk of yards down to inside the Meadow Bridge territory. And then Gladwell drops back, and this time finds Preston Compton on the post route, and that's a touchdown as Midland Trail is rolling. And then who better to give it to end the night off as Jaden Roop finds himself with the score, and Midland Trail goes on to win 24-0. Now, Midland Trail is 3-0 on the season. They've been a very sneaky good team so far. There was a play that we just showed you in that highlight. We just showed you a snippet of it because we're going to give you our breakdown of the week, a full screen breakdown here. This was a great design play that included a little bit of trickery, you'll see it in a minute, and an incredible pass by Preston Compton, a pass that looked like a quarterback. Let's go out and check down our breakdown of the week here. Okay, stop it right here. You're going to see Jaden Gladwell, the quarterback, watch his hand. He is going to make a movement to his hand to number 15 Briggs, and it's going to signal him, and that's how the whole thing's going to start. Here we go. Boom, signal. Briggs now comes over. He starts to move, and as he moves, the defense has to follow him because they have to see, is it real? He gets the ball. He hands it off to Preston Compton, and then Jaden Gladwell, the quarterback, runs out for the route, and look where Preston Compton threw the ball. He could not have thrown it in a better spot. He hit him perfectly. Look at that, right into Jaden Gladwell's hand. You cannot make a better throw than that. It's the only place he could have thrown it to make it successful, and we roll the play from there, and Jaden Gladwell does the rest. Absolutely beautiful play there by Midland Trail, a team effort that took a lot of focus and a lot of trickery and a lot of accuracy on Preston Compton's part, and a phenomenal catch there by Jaden Gladwell. That was a seriously fun play, and that right there was a big part of why Midland Trail won and is now 3-0 on the season, and they are a team that we really need to keep our eyes on as they go through the season. Oh, Fabulous Football Friday is just getting started. More scores, more breakdowns like that, and more highlights to come. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back with Fabulous Football Friday Week 3 edition right after this. Welcome back to Fabulous Football Friday. What a week 3 it has been. Lots of delays because of the rain and the thunderstorms, but most of the games got in, and we were at one game today for the 5 and 6. Shady Spring, who had a phenomenal comeback win, scored with 10 seconds left to take the tie and then take the lead at the end there against Nicholas County. Well, today they took on Summers County in a battle of two good offenses and two good defenses. Shady looking to go 2-1 and Summers looking to go 2-0. Let's head out to Shady Springs for this one. As we see the cat fight of the week, the Shady Spring Tigers versus the Summer County Bobcats, and these teams have claws. Quarterback Braden Green had himself a good half here. You see as he takes the design run 8 yards and punches it into the end zone. Later on the other side of the field, Green making a big impact. He connects with Jalen Bailey, who scored the big touchdown last week, junior wide receiver, and he takes it 60 yards to the house. It wasn't all Shady Spring, though. The Bobcats scored on a long touchdown pass in the first quarter, and look at this. Summers County defense held their own, finding a way to get pressure on the quarterback. They also kept the ground game in check. Shady Spring running back Gavin Davis wasn't many gains on the play. Again, you see Summers County defenders like number 65, Franklin McLaughlin, staying with the play and making a big tackle, and then Tyson Adkins getting back up and rallying to make the tackle. This game was a game that got delayed big time by the Storms. It was back and forth early. They went into break, but then it became a shootout, and Shady Spring held on barely to go 31-28. We go out to Nicholas County, where two 0-2 teams looking to get on the winning track, and Colton Helms hands it off to Jackson Morrison, who takes a hit but stays on his feet and finds the end zone. The Grizzlies rolling early in this one. Now Grizzlies at midfield. Helms dishes it on a screen pass to Colton Browning, and Browning follows his blockers, turns on the jets and finds his way down to the 23-yard line. Helms hands it off to guess who? It's Morriston, and the man does it again. He found the end zone all night long. This one, the Grizzlies at midfield, and what they say, if it works, don't stop, right? Helms dishes the screen again to Browning, and this time Browning and Morriston were a 1-2 punch all night long, just gashing Wyoming East defense as Browning gets the ball again. More on this play in a bit. He rolls, he gets into the midfield of the field and hits a juke and finds 7 again. And this right here is what you call icing on the cake. Browning receives the punt return, fumbles it at first, but picks it up and scrambles his way from there as he goes all the way down into the end zone for a big Nicholas County 66, Wyoming East 0. All right, and that was Nicholas County's first win of the season, and they did it with a bang. So let's do our Nicholas County breakdown as we go here, because the two running backs had themselves a huge, and I mean huge, night for Nicholas County. You're going to see this here early. We stopped it because I want to show you the line of scrimmage. The line of scrimmage for Nicholas County set the tone all night long. Watch the two linemen up top. Play it right here. You're going to see it now. Pause it. You see the two guys, they pull over and they start running to their right. They're pulling to create a hole for the running back, and you're going to see the hole they create right here. Here they go. Look at those two defenders. They hit the hole, and it opens it up so much that he doesn't even get touched as he goes through the hole. That is what you call a design run. He jukes out the defender in midfield, and he takes it from there. That is the definition of how you call a play where your big men up front set the line of scrimmage, they set the tone, and everything else flows from there. From play one, Nicholas County set the tone up front, and they were able to win it from there. And that is how you get your first win of the season. Let's go out and check the rest of the scores of the night as Midland Trail won 24-0. Parkersburg South, Woodrow Wilson gets their first loss, 56-20. Nicholas County 66, Wyoming East 0. Greenbrier West 48, Pocahontas County 0. Mingo 32, Liberty Raleigh 0. And Shady Spring, a huge win in a 31-28. Bluefield 11, Greenbrier East 0. Princeton 42, Oak Hill 28. Eastside 14, Riverview 6. And James Monroe keeps on rolling for it, 54-8. And then we have Bridgeport 72, John Marshall 24. Lincoln 69 to Grafton 14. And Tug Valley 51 to Symes Valley 8. And that does it. Fabulous Football Friday presented by Lewis Nissan. Week 3 edition is in the books, and what a week it was. Hopefully next week we're a bit more dry. Everything ends on time, and we will have some fun from there. But that does it for Fabulous Football Friday. We'll be back to wrap it all up with our final forecast right after this.